Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Vasila Built for Speed, and today we're going to be working on 2017 Subaru Outback 2.5 liter. We're going to be doing a transmission fluid change, and I'm also going to change the transmission oil filter. So this is going to be a DIY, do it yourself at home video. You don't necessarily need a lift. I'm putting it on a lift because it's easier to film and show you guys, but you can just put it on the 4 jack stands. It should be plenty. But yeah, today I'm going to show you guys how to change the transmission fluid, how much to put in, how to change all that and all that stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to be using Amsoil, our sponsor, CVT fluid. As you guys know, that I've been doing transmission service videos on my YouTube channel on multiple of my cars, and I recently did my truck and I swapped it to Amsoil transmission fluid, and it started shifting amazing. So I'm like really impressed with the fluid. So I'm going to be putting the same quality fluid. It's a CVT fluid, but same quality fluid in my Subaru, and hopefully I get the same result, and I think I will, because judging by, I've been using the engine oil, transmission oils, and I've been having really good results for differentials, transfer cases from Amsoil, and it's been amazing. So yeah, that's the fluid we're going to be using. If you guys want to take a screenshot or search it up, but I will have a link under the description of my video, under my video in the description below. To this fluid, I got I think here 1 gallon, so 3.7 liters, so 4 quarts. And then I also got 2 more because some people, I looked it up, some people say it's 6 quarts, some people say it's 5, some people say it's 7. So I don't even know. Right now I'm gonna drain first. I have a bucket that I bought that measures the amount of fluid comes out. I'm gonna measure it, and then I'm gonna put the same amount in, and then start the car up, warm it up to temperature, and then check the level. If anything, I can add some, but I'm gonna put in the same amount that came out, and then I'm gonna check the level afterwards. Okay, so let's walk under here. So we can see transmissions right here, right kind of behind the engine. There's the engine cover right here, and it's right there. This is the transmission oil pan. This is the drain plug, and this is the level / fill plug right there. So yeah, that's pretty simple. So I'm gonna drain it first. I'm gonna pop this loose first, the fill plug. Make sure I can fill it first. So I'll pop that loose and then pull the drain plug, drain the fluid out, take the oil pan out, and then swap the filter. Okay, you guys, so I took off the oil pan, which is 10mm bolts, and just pried it off. The oil wasn't half bad. I mean, in here it looks pretty, like you can see, it's not quite as horrible. Because if it's really bad, then you'd be black on the sides, which is really bad. This one's not horrible, but mine doesn't even have 60,000 miles yet. This service has to be done every 60,000, according to Subaru, or less. So yeah, it's not too bad, but I ran into an issue. I got an oil filter, transmission oil strainer to be exact, and this is wrong. This is, I think, for the Impreza, the older ones. I ordered it online. I didn't call my dealer first. I didn't ask them for part number, so I'm just gonna have this here so you guys don't make the same mistake. Please call the dealer, give them last 8 of your VIN number, and tell them to give you a part number for the transmission oil filter strainer. Not if it's filter strainer, but it's actually just a strainer. The oil that drains from the transmission into the oil pan, it goes through here first, and all the debris, like it has a tiny bit of debris here and there, like it's not horrible, but I'm still gonna change it while I'm at it. The actual filter itself is in the valve body, I was told by the dealer, so which is like $1,000 valve body. I'm not quite sure where the valve body is. Is it under there? I'm not sure in this transmission, but this is just a strainer, but it's a filter also in a way. So if you guys want to replace this, call your dealer, give them last 8 of your VIN, and then tell them to give you part number for the oil strainer filter. And then once they give you the part number, type it into Google, and then it'll pop up, pull up who sells it and where you can buy it. You can find pretty good deals online. I'm gonna have to go to my local dealer, one that's a little bit farther from me, but because the one that's really close doesn't have it. So that's kind of, I lose an hour here. So I just want to let you guys know so you guys don't make the same mistake. Okay, so now that I got a new filter, back to the oil pan. So in the oil pan, I cleaned this up. I have a little grinder like tool, like this here. With like, it's not a sandpaper, but it's like, what, I don't forget what they call it. It's like almost like sandpaper, but yeah. Anyways, I sanded it down, and then now there's the magnet there. CVT transmissions are notorious for having a lot of shavings in the transmission. So when you guys do the oil change, make sure you guys wipe those. Look at that. All those are shavings. So make sure you guys clean them up. So I'm gonna take it out from the pen, clean the pen, wash it, clean it, wipe it, and then clean that magnet also. Okay, as you guys can see, that's the new filter. So it has an O-ring on it. So when you guys take the old one out, make sure you check that in the insert there's no O-ring left, because I took mine out and the O-ring did not come out of it. I had to take it out of there, because if you put this one in on top of that one, you might have leaks and issues. So make sure you guys take the O-ring out from over there, and then insert this back. Make sure you lubricate this O-ring so it goes in nicer. And then there's just two bolts, one there and one right here. So just those two 10mm bolts. Okay, so once you clean the magnet, cleaned everything, wiped it down, I use the Victorines. I'm gonna include this in the description of this video below also. I use this for all my transmissions. Anything I do with the motor or transmission rebuilds, I use this. This has been the best sealant that I use, so it never gave me issues. So that's what we're gonna use. We're gonna apply a thin layer, not a lot. If you do it properly, just a teeny bit will come out on the outside. So I like to put it like this, never had any issues. Nice and thin layer all around, and we're good. I drained the fluid. It's about a gallon, a little bit more than a gallon, so I would say 4 quarts, 4.5 quarts here. And then when I took the pan off and the filter, maybe another half a quart, maybe even a quart was in there. Because if you see the design of the pan, when it leaks out, there's like maybe 3/8 of an inch right there from the drain pan to down here. So there's a bunch of fluid right here. So if you take the pan off, all that drains out, and there's some more drains out when you take the filter out. So it's about maybe half a quart here, plus or minus, and then here it's like 4.5. So I'm gonna we'll fill this transmission in with 5 quarts. I'm gonna start with 5 quarts, put it in, start it up, and I'm gonna double check on the temperature, but I think it's 100 degrees. And once it's 100 degrees, once it reaches 100 degrees temperature, operating temperature, then you pull the fill plug or the level plug, and then when it just let it drain out. If it's not draining out at 100 degrees, then you fill some more, and then when it starts draining out, then you just close the fill hole or the level plug, and then that's it, you're done. All right, so I just want to show you guys how I transfer. I have this little transfer pump. The one hose goes into the gallon of fluid, and then one goes in the transmission, and you just pump it and it just transfers the transmissions. This is literally the fastest way. I also have the one that you suck into the pump and then just transfer it to there, but that one is a little longer. This one is a little bit quicker. So all you do is just pump it through. I can include this pump in the description below also, a link to the pump where you guys can purchase this if you guys wish to. Okay, so I just looked up what the Subaru CVT transmission level check. It's 86 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So once we get it up to temperature, you can either use a scan tool or just use one of those laser things to point at the pan to monitor the temperature. Once it gets to 100 degrees, then you can pop this open, and then all the excess let it drain out. When it starts trickling like fast dripping, just close it and you're good. So the car needs to be level, and when you start the car up, first you have to go through gears. So you go in drive, park, reverse, park. I think if I remember correctly, in their procedure, they want you to go to park after every gear. I don't know what the reason for that is, but that's how Subaru says it. To go to pretty much neutral. Neutral I don't think does anything, but so you go reverse, park, drive, park, and just keep doing that multiple times during the heating up process. And then I'm guessing, because it says let it run, it doesn't say anything neutral or park. I don't think it matters, either or I think would work, but I usually check it in park. I don't think neutral would hurt either, but on the specifications it doesn't say neutral or park, but the car has to be running. So I'm just going to do as I usually do, in park, and then check the level with the car running in park, and then pull that plug. When it reaches 100 degrees, it's 86 to 104, so I'm just going to do it at 100 and then pull that plug. And then once the excess drains out, when it starts trickling, I'm going to close it back up. Okay, so I got in the car, started it, I went through reverse, park, drive, park multiple times, and I have a scanner that I'm monitoring. You can use, like I said, the laser temperature check. You can use that. I'm using this, so it's 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. This scan tool reads in Celsius. So I'm probably gonna wait until about 38 degrees Celsius, and then after 38 degrees I'm gonna go ahead and pull that this plug and then let all the excess drain. If it comes out, if it doesn't, nothing drains out at that temperature, I'm gonna add some. But if something drains out, I'm gonna let it drain, and then after it starts trickling fast, I'm gonna put it back in, and that's gonna be level for me. Okay, so I ended up filling a little bit more than 6 quarts of this fluid, of the CVT fluid. So this is 4, 2, 6, so a little bit more than 6 quarts. So I drained out, I thought I drained out, well, it's about 5 quarts in the bucket, and about another quart from the pan, pulling the pan and filter. So maybe it was a teeny bit underfilled or something like that, but yeah, I drained out about 6 quarts, I'm guessing, because looking at it now in the bucket, it's quite, I mean, the bucket's pretty big, so 1 quart in there is going to raise it just a little bit, and it's like a good 1/4 inch over the 1 gallon mark. So it's probably 5 quarts in the bucket and about 1 quart into the other one. So yeah, so when you guys buy about 7 quarts to be safe. You may not need them, you may need just 6, but to be safe, buy 7 quarts of the CVT fluid. So that's going to be the quantity. I'm going to list in the description below, like I said, to the transmission fluid, and then also to the factory transmission filter. I'll probably find the cheapest one around, whoever sells it for the cheapest, because even online on Subaru, if you go in person, it's like $130 or more. Some dealers are charging almost $200, and online is like just a tiny bit over 100. Some of them are even selling for less. I don't think there's a difference between original and aftermarket. I'm pretty sure a lot of the aftermarkets are just as good. So, and they're probably going to be selling for $50 to $60 for the filter. So anyways, I'll find one that matches the part number and the design, and I'll link it in the description below. So yeah, that's it. I'm probably gonna go for a test drive. May give you guys a reaction of kind of whether I feel any difference in driving. But in my Nissan, this is a CVT, so it's a little hard to tell in a CVT because it's a continuously variable transmission, so you don't really feel the shifts. Like the truck shifts, so it's definitely noticeable. If it shifts better or faster, you definitely notice it. And this one's probably gonna be hard to notice, but judging by my truck, how my truck performed afterwards, I was really amazed how good of the transmission fluid this is. So yeah, I used it for this car, and yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments below, comments below. I believe the drain pan, the drain plug gas torque spec is like 36 foot lbs. I don't know about the rest. I'd have to double check on that, but I just kind of, over the years, I learned to the tightness with my hands on the pan gasket, because even sometimes the original specifications for like the little bolts on the removing the pan, they're not quite correct, and the transmission pan starts leaking, so we have to tighten it more. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna go for a test drive, and I'll get back to you before I end this video. I'm test driving it right now. I mean, for now it seems smooth, like it's really smooth, the transmission operation. I'm gonna turn right now. I'm gonna floor it, because like from the spot or from like low speeds, when you floor it, that's the when it's most noticeable. So let's floor it. Yeah, I mean, I felt the shifts a little bit, like with previously, before I changed the transmission fluid, it was a little bit more aggressive shifts. Right now it's just nice and smooth, like, because when you floor it, obviously it's noticeable. Continuously variable transmissions, if you don't floor it and you just drive normal, you don't really feel the shifts. When you floor it, that's when you feel it. Every gear that shifts, it kind of continuously just tries to grab, and then it shifts in between gears. You can definitely feel them. But right now it's gotten a lot smoother. Like, yeah, it just really goes really smoothly. Like, it doesn't jerk the car or anything. Like, it's really nice and smooth. So definitely it did the same thing. Like I said, it's a little bit harder and noticeable, but like I said, I noticed it. I'm not just saying that just to be like, you know, oh yeah, it definitely helped just because I changed it. I mean, reliability wise, yeah, it did change it, but not every fluid makes the shifting and the operation of the transmission better. And that's why I'm really like bragging about Amsoil being so good and making the transmission actually operate better. It doesn't burn, not as much clutch burn, better shifting and all that. Like, there's so many people that did a lot of testing that were really amazed by the results, engine and transmission oils from Amsoil, and I'm sure other fluids too. So I'm actually really amazed. I like it. It definitely did make it smoother, so it is noticeable, even though it's CVT. So that's a thumbs up for Amsoil. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today's video. This car, I believe, like from 2011 to 2018 or 2019 is gonna be the same. The 2.5 liter Subaru Outback is gonna be the same for those years. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, comments below. I will try to post like the torque specs, the links to the tools I used, and the fluids and stuff that I used. I'll try to post the links before it even goes live. I'll try to make sure I include those links in the description below, so you guys have it. So, but if there's some information you guys are still questioning, or if you guys are wondering, if you guys don't know something, comment in the comments below and I'll do my best to reply to every comment. But as for that, I mean, that's it for today's video for this car. I'll maybe be doing like shocks replacement and other videos for this car in the future, but other than that, this is it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see ya next time.